This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. It's Gil Alexander. I don't know if you guys know this from yesterday, but my little buddy Kelly Bedlin is back. Kelly Budlin, I call him. Kelly Bedlin is back.
Kelly Budlin. I like that.
My little buddy Kelly Budlin.
Hey.
Hey. Hi.
Hey.
Hey, a little toddler wave. How you doing, man? You feeling better?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
All right.
Yeah, getting there.
You coming to me? You coming with me to Al Bernstein tonight?
Not 9:30.
Ah, this dude. Super jerk is all over you. He says, hey, at your age, you have no excuses. All right. Don't come with me. Fine. Al Bernstein tomorrow on the show to talk Canelo and Crawford. Yes.
Let's go.
Boxing. We'll do that tomorrow. On the show today, Tim Murray on college football, his favorite plays of the day, the host of not only VSiN Primetime, not only the college tailgate show, but the college football betting podcast. Mm-hmm. Man does it all with college football. Later, Are We Sure? Estamos seguros. Zach Cohen, part of the Zach and Crack team, VSiN senior editor, talking some NFL, some college, and maybe some tennis. I don't know if he has any picks in Guadalajara.
I think he might.
I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, it was a very well done, Gil. Well done. And you have to go Zach and Crack comedy team.
That's what I said.
You left out the comedy part.
The Zach and Crack comedy duo. Crack, unscripted with Crackman Bill Krackenberger. Remember, an hour later than it has been all these years. We're doing it at 12 noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, so that's down the road on the show as well. And because Kelly wasn't here earlier in the week, we're going to do a Survivor thing again. Yeah. Because Kelly got shortchanged on Survivor talk, so we'll do that.
With some Tim Lawson influence.
Ooh, what's really?
He sent me a little bit of an idea for a segment, which I think it's going to be a little bit better down the line when Survivor gets a little tighter. But it's good to start.
You mean so I just can't run back what I said the other day?
Correct. I'm gonna put your feet to the fire on a couple.
Jeez. All right. Jeez. Okay. Brock Purdy, for those who missed it this morning, the toe injury is going to keep him out 2 to 5 weeks now. Speaking of Survivor, if you were considering the Niners, which was one of the 4 teams that I said I can't consider because of the I don't know, I was going to say the pall, but that's a little dramatic. The sort of looming specter of him being out of the game. He's gone, courtesy of Rapshidi and Rappaport, who reported this first. 2 to 5 weeks with a form of turf toe. A form of turf toe. So apparently they're different tentacles to turf toe.
Guess what, Gil? I don't know if I fully understood what turf toe was for the past 30 years. So, a form of turf toe, sure.
Yeah, turf toe's not fun, apparently.
It's all I've ever heard, yes.
Yeah, not fun and can be a dicey thing. And 2 to 5 is, of course, just an estimate. So Mac Jones, or as Wyatt said earlier, Mac Jones is going to be your starting quarterback for the Niners this week. It's at New Orleans. Maybe this is the opponent you need in this situation, but, New Orleans wasn't. That was the thing about week 1 in the NFL. New Orleans didn't suck. Cleveland didn't suck. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a couple of these teams that we consider bad that actually didn't look that terrible. I would argue Cam Ward and the Titans were better than the box score suggested as well.
Agreed.
So, yeah, can't say that for the Dolphins or the Panthers or some
I
other
was
teams.
just going to say, who's your worst team in the NFL right now?
Oh, 1 week of football?
Yeah.
Oh, the Dolphins were clearly the worst team in week 1. But I don't know that means that they're my bottom power
who's your worst team? I'm gonna go Panthers right now.
I think you have to say Panthers.
I don't think that's a week 1 overreaction stuff if they were already at the bottom anyways.
Yeah.
But to your point, I think like the Browns and Saints that would have been there for me, they showed enough life to. I don't think they're there.
I would agree. With that.
They're like 29th.
What would you do in Thursday Night Football tonight? First of all, the line here on the Packers and Washington. Let me just say this, boys and girls.
Down to 3 in that San Francisco game too, by the way.
Down to 3 now, yeah. Tonight, good Thursday night matchup.
Oh, awesome.
Between 2, with apologies to the Eagles, 2 would-be NFC Championship contenders, for sure, if not the NFC Championship match itself, if you will. Both teams coming off a week 1 win. Commanders over the Giants, Packers over the Lions, 2 division wins for both of them. Now they play each other tonight in a game that, as Kelly said, is lined at 3 now. Had been 3.5. I got the 3.5 on the Commodores earlier this week. ends up being one of my Megapod picks yesterday as well. There's still some 3.5s out there, though.
Some expensive ones, yep.
I see a
South Point flat 110, but of course they only deal in 110. Everything else is an expensive.
Yeah, DraftKings is 3.5 minus 118, FanDuel 3.5 minus 120. So a little bit, not really extreme extra juice, but extra juice nonetheless on the 3.5. The 3 is at reduced juice at even money.
A 3.25, Gil.
There you go, Steve Fezzik. Steve Fezzik making his appearance on the show this morning with the 3.25. For those of us of a certain age, there was a famous primetime game between these two teams in 1983, some 42 years ago, Kelly.
I love when we get games before I was born.
Yeah.
There we go.
The Super Bowl champion Washington Redskins went into Green Bay in a year that they ended up 16-2 when you include the playoff games, 1983. They ended up 16-2, and both of the losses were by 1 point. Ooh. And then got crushed in the Super Bowl by the then Los Angeles Raiders. Washington, they set, by the way, all the offensive records that existed all the way to the 99 Vikings, the 83 Skins. But they lost to the Packers on Halloween night. The reason I know this is because I opted not to go out trick-or-treating. And they lost to Green Bay 48-47 when Mark Mosley missed a field goal at the buzzer. And Mark Mosley was the reigning NFL MVP. Kicker.
So was this a Sunday night?
No, it was a Monday Night Football game.
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
And Halloween was on Monday night? How old was young Gilly?
Young Gil was in his teens. Young Gil was what? I was in...
So you weren't like looking for candy.
I was junior high or high. I don't know. I was right in there somewhere. Anyway, point being, I hope this one's like that. You have the youngest roster in the NFL in the Green Bay Packers against the oldest roster in the NFL in the Washington Commanders. Now, many of you may know that about the Commanders, but do you know what the real story is here? Commanders have the oldest roster in the NFL since the 1997 San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
Now, like with that Indianapolis...
That's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. With all these stats that people throw out...
You get a few that really skew it.
Exactly. So remember with the Colts, you weren't here earlier this week, but everyone was throwing around that Daniel Jones stat this weekend, where it's like Daniel Jones, the only quarterback since 1977 to lead 7 for 7 on scoring drives in an NFL game. And I made the point on Monday on Guessing Lines, you have to read between the lines on these stats. Like, these guys data mine for stats. But then when you think about it, it's like, no, think how many teams... got the ball back with 20 seconds left in the first half and just decided to go to the locker room. Think how many teams just decided to kneel on the football when they were, in victory formation instead of punching it in at the end. Think about how teams went to a backup quarterback, because remember, it was phrased in a way, Daniel Jones is the only quarterback to have done this. So it really isn't a Daniel Jones Colts stat so much as it was a game script anomaly. Right. So you have to read between the lines on some of these stats that they throw out. And by the way, the Washington being the oldest roster in the NFL, don't read into that either, because you know what skews it? Punter, Tress Way, backup quarterbacks, Marcus Mariota, Josh Johnson.
Oh, especially Josh Johnson. Johnson, like Zach Ertz.
Well, the guys that play are Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, and the oldest of them all, I think, or the guy who's played the most in the NFL is Vaughn Miller's on the roster.
Yeah. Those 6 guys combined age 278.
Kelly just did the math.
278. 278.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But that's really what it is. Like, it's like you got a young quarterback, you've got young stars.
So all I'm saying is, when you hear these stats, just be like, okay, whatever. Is Jaden old? No, he's not. That's all you need to know.
Is Terry old?
Getting there. I will say this, though. So I have Washington plus 3.5 in pocket, as they say. The thing I'm worried about most with that bet is Josh Connerly, the Commanders' right tackle, the rookie right tackle that they drafted late in the first round out of Oregon, who is one of these Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt kind of plays where it's like, oh, the rest of the league isn't really on to how good this guy is kind of thing. At least that's the Adam Peters standpoint on it. He did get beat against the Giants. Brian Burns beat him pretty good the other day, I think for 1.5 sacks, if I'm not mistaken. So I do worry, and I don't worry, I know this is going to happen, right? They're going to line up Micah across from him a couple times, if not 10 times. And so that's the one thing. Obviously, Jaden knows that's coming. So that's the one thing I worry about on that side of the ball. Can the Commanders' defense hold up against how good that Packers offense looked against the Lions?
Yeah.
That's another story as well. But here's the thing. Packers on defense aren't facing a statue that is Jared Goff this week. They've got a guy who's got all the tools. And by the way, I just bet right before the show, because there's a stray 15-1 out here. So I was like, should I? Because I kept considering, should I bet Jaden Daniels MVP? Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Well, Circa made me because they have a 15-1 out there, and I just grabbed it. Everywhere else is like 10-1, 9-1. So I grabbed the 15-1 on Jaden Daniels, NFL MVP. So I got to play on this. How do you see it?
Yeah, this is, I'm probably staying away. I think a couple other Packers injury notes to make here. They do have a couple offensive linemen that are questionable tonight. Aaron Banks and Zach Tom, who just maybe my new favorite offensive line name. Zach Tom. Just Zach Tom.
Zach Tom.
It's like Ricky Bobby. Mm-hmm. Zach Tom. A couple of those to look out for. I texted the deep dive guys yesterday because Nate Hobbs is also questionable for this, and I don't really know if we can truly judge the Green Bay Packers until Nate Hobbs is playing, because that was the big disagreement between Drew and Andy on this team. So there's some injuries coming in. For Green Bay, week 2, we'll see how serious that is. But, man, if you get a couple offensive linemen banged up or not playing in this game, that's a serious problem for against a Commanders team that I got a lot of respect for. I do think these are two of the better teams in the NFC.
Yep.
This is a stay away from me on the side. It would be the 3.5 lean to that when that was out there with you. I think those are more pricey now. Would still be lean that way. Take the points tonight.
If Circa deals
and over the total, I mean, lean over on this game. I kind of think both offenses are going to be able to move the ball.
If Circa deals a 3.5 in millions, I would play it tonight.
I'm interested to see. I'm glad you brought that up, because this is, while I won't be betting the side, it could end up as a millions play for me, because I'm not sure there's going to be that many other sides that like this.
Are you one of these millennials or Gen Zers that when I bring up a game before you were born, you think it's irrelevant? I mean,
No.
I mean, this one was irrelevant, but your reaction was such that, when I was a kid,
No, it's
we cared about what happened before we were born, but you kids don't seem to care about that kind of stuff.
I just don't care when we bring up baseball stats from the 1920s.
No. Your point on stats is well taken, but it's just a general thing that I would just like to point out, that you kids think you're a little smarter than you are, is all I'm saying. That's bringing in the 60 to 90-year-old demographic. That's what I'm doing right now, baby.
Go. Way to go.
Let's go. Football, next.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's college football tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the football contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Pauly on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
So, Pauly, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Coming up on the next edition of Follow the Money, preview Thursday Night Football. Week 2 kicks off, Commanders-Packers. All the props, all the angles. Paul Charchian to talk fantasy and his picks for the upcoming week. The Premier League is back, and so is the Meat Man, Steve Wiss, back with his best bets. Follow the Money, 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN. The Sports Betting Network, now Sirius XM Channel 158. Check out the website for all the betting tools and analysis, or get the VSiN Watch app.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Numbers Game live from Circa Resort Casino in downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander, Kelly Finland. Hey, don't forget about all that's happening over there at vsin.com. If you want to bet smarter, college football and NFL betting hubs for all your resources in one place. Zach Cohen on the Commanders-Packers tilt tonight. Adam Burke on NC State Wake Forest. And later today, you can check out Steve Makinen's College Football Week 3 Best Bets, Josh Applebaum's early NFL and college football sharp reports, and Dave Tooley's NFL Week 2 takes. Tooley Takes is back, Kelly.
Yeah.
Right now, you can sign up for as little as $9.99 to access all the VSiN Pro articles. Just head to vsin.com/subscribe to sign up today. Is that annoying when I require your excitement when I scream something? You're like, yeah.
Hey, man.
Al Bernstein, second show tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not coming.
No.
Come on.
No. It's too late, man. I got to wake up at 4:15 in the morning for this show.
What do you think? What do you think? I live here in the studio? I don't have to wake up?
You live closer.
Oh, good. Come on. Really? By like a few miles?
Yeah.
You kids are soft. You know what? This is the theme of the show. You kids are soft. That's the theme of today's Numbers Game.
All right, cool.
We get tweets of beating the book. Let's see if these guys pile on. This is from let's see, Yo Worthy 311. Yo, just listen to the Beating the Book podcast. Damn near spilled my coffee laughing listening to Daniel Jones beating the Broncos 20-17 commentary. Can't wait to listen to a Numbers Game while doing my notes for work today. Oh, that's when Todd goes into a fake play-by-play over someone else's bet, and his play-by-play always kills the bet, is what happens. It always starts with him going, wait, I'm hearing something. It goes from there. Jaco Bellis, thank you for the animation on the from the Swanky Studios at the Win. He did the one for Todd as well. Tim Bowers, the Unknown Caller doc. Still riveting, even though the stalker was spoiled for me beforehand. Oh, I'm so sorry someone spoiled that for you. 2, Lions haven't lost back-to-back since 2022, he notes. And 3, your guy Jaden Daniels going to run amok versus Green Bay's prevent the explosive play defense. Yeah, from your lips to God, let's go. Pick 10. I had turf toe, he said. Oh, he's got a turf toe testimonial here. He says, I had turf toe, knuckled my toe playing football on the beach, and took about 9 months before it felt fine again. 9 months.
A sprain of the ligaments at the base of the big toe, commonly known as a word I am not going to be able to pronounce, metatarsophalangeal.
Nice. Well done.
I'm going to go with that.
Is it always the big toe for turf toe?
Apparently, typically caused by hyperextension of the big toe.
Mike Zill's Duke 90 about that 83 game. Lynn Dickey ain't walking through that door Halloween, Gil. Either's Joe Theismann. James Sott. How about last night I found out Mark Mosley won the NFL MVP in 1982. I wonder what the odds would have been for that. Welcome back, Kelly. Glad you fought off zombie virus. Las Vegas 514. Yo, did you also know that Monday Night Game was the highest scoring Monday Night Football game for 35 years up until 2018?
Wow.
48-47. Can you say no defense? Sheesh, yeah. In fact, the Washington secondary.
I thought defense won championships back in those days, Gil.
Exactly. The Washington secondary very politically incorrectly called themselves the Pearl Harbor Crew. They were so bad.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Michael Burns, remember my Raider beat down vividly my freshman year in college Illini Jack Squirick pick 6 seconds before a half. Fun fact, Barry Manilow sang the anthem. Marcus Allen ran wild. Don't remind me. One of the worst days of my childhood.
My brother's middle name, named after Marcus Allen.
Really?
He's a Marcus, yeah.
Yeah.
Old Thad's a big Raiders fan.
Jack Squirick, by the way, the rocket screen that Joe Gibbs called towards the end of the half that he took back to the house. Super jerk. Kelly won't get this, and neither will the audience. What the hell were you going to go out trick-or-treating as that year? Harvey Korman?
I don't know
That's a Carol Burnett show reference.
This is where I was.
That's a little before then.
I latched on to that sentence, though, when you brought it up. You're like, it was Halloween night? It stayed home? And I was like, well, Halloween night?
Michael Burns, go get him, Gil. Slap that youngster upside the dome. And the truth, 1980, turf toe was the injury that ended the great Jack Lambert's career. Tell Kelly I apologize for that info because it also was before he was born. Love the show. Thank you. Let's keep doing that to Kelly. I'm sorry, Kelly. That was before you were born.
I don't know. I got excited to hear about a game that was before I was born.
It didn't sound that way.
I like to watch old basketball games all the time.
Oh, they rarely. You know, that's the thing about the NBA.
NBA TV throws on old games a lot.
Does it?
Yeah.
It feels like less than the NBA and less than the NFL and Major League Baseball that we get to see old basketball games. We're like, it was the
okay. I say they throw them on a lot,
yeah.
But But at the same time, do I, like yesterday, I'm looking for the Euro Ball. I'm like, this has got to be on TV somewhere. No, of course, I've got to go to some like German stream of it.
Whatever happened with EuroBasket?
It's still going. Don't ask me where we're at in it. Like, it's still going. It was Germany and Slovenia yesterday. That was a great game down the stretch, so I wanted to watch it. Zach Cohen hooked me up with a link. But I'm like, I go to NBA TV.
Zach Cohen hooked me up with a link.
To some German streaming, yeah.
Greece beat Israel. That's too bad. Round of 16.
They're out? So round of 16,
they're out. We're in the semis.
Mode.
It's Germany, Finland, and it's Greece, Turkey.
Wow, okay.
Wow. Germany, Finland, and Greece, Turkey. There you go. Real quick before we go back to some awards here.
Anyway, real quick. I forgot where I was going with this. So I turn on NBA TV. I'm like, what is NBA TV playing right now, right? It's September 10th. Like, they've got to have this on. No, Euro Cup has the deals somewhere or whatever, TV rights. And it's just like, it's game 3 of like the Western Conference semifinals from last year. I'm like, who's looking for this? Who's asking for this? I'd rather give me a Jordan game from like 1994. Give me a classic.
Well, the thing I want to see is the NBA, like before Magic and Bird, was so slow.
Yeah.
And famously, my mishpacha, Chrissy Andrews, who runs the South Point Sportsbook, he used to say accurately, when the Supersonics won the NBA championship in 1979, Gus Williams and Dennis Johnson would have conversations walking the ball up court with each other. Like, it was just the worst. Anyway, maybe that's why they don't show it as much.
There's some great ball from back in the day. I'm also like, you watch some of those games, like the old Celtics, right? I'm like, sweet mid-range jumper, sweet mid-range jump, sweet
there
mid-range.
There were no analytics. Well, there was no three-point line to begin with, right? Real quick, let's get the baseball out of the way, because we talked about this briefly yesterday in terms of just some tiebreakers. With the wild card just updated in the American League, you now have a situation with where the Seattle Mariners are the team that inhabit the third wild card, but the 6th and last playoff position. They have a 1.5 game lead over the Texas Rangers and a 3.5 game lead over the Cleveland Guardians, who lost yesterday. Go away, Guardians. Just go away. Seattle has all the tiebreakers. We pointed this out yesterday. They also have the easiest schedule, and that is reflected in the market of make-and-miss playoffs for all these teams. Just know that Seattle wins all the tiebreakers. They beat Texas 10 games to 3. And they already won the season series against the Guardians 4-2. So for either Texas or Cleveland to get there, they got to clear Seattle. They would win every 3-way tiebreaker as well, would the Mariners. National League, the Mets have 2-game lead over both the Giants and the Reds, but really it's the Reds who are 2 back. The Giants have to clear them because the Giants lose the tiebreaker with the Mets. So the Giants, in effect, are really 3 back of the Mets. Mets keep losing. Somebody's catching them, that's for sure. Giants have the remaining easiest schedule of the bunch by far, though, of those 3 teams. Knowing a 3-way tie, we could have a 3-way tie situation, as I mentioned yesterday, which could go to intra-division record if the Giants end up with the tiebreaker over the Reds, and that will be determined by intra-division record, which I said yesterday is the dumbest tiebreaker in the history of sports, where it's the Giants against the NL West versus the Reds against the NL Central. Then it would go to the Giants being eliminated in a 3-way and the Reds winning the last playoff berth. So we covered that yesterday. For divisions, just to add on to this, for divisions, what we have here in the American League is East, Toronto has a 3-game lead over both the Yankees and the Red Sox. Yankees by percentage points over the Red Sox, 3 back. Toronto wins all tiebreakers, 8-5 over the Yankees this year, and 7-3 over the Red Sox with 3 pending, but doesn't matter what happens. Toronto's got that. So Toronto has all the tiebreakers. Know that when you're considering bets for make-miss playoffs or division, not make-miss playoffs in this case, for division in this case, know that Toronto has all tiebreakers. Remember, there are no game-offs to determine this now. It goes to these ridiculous tiebreakers, which by ridiculous, I mean, in this case, just boring. AL West, Houston, 1-game lead over Seattle, 2.5-game lead over Texas. That is very much going to go to a 3-way situation if it happened. Let's say it was first of all, Texas has the tiebreaker over Houston. Seattle has the tiebreaker over Texas. But Houston and Seattle's tiebreaker is yet to be determined because they're 5-5 with 3 games pending. If it went to a 3-game situation, Seattle would win on aggregate win percentage. Seattle would win the AL West.
Rangers have climbed back into this thing, huh?
Yep.
Do you have a futures bet on them?
No, I had a August bet on them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wanted to make a futures bet, but I'm glad. As
I remember you were talking about maybe doing it at the time.
As overperforming as the Guardians are, the Rangers are underperforming. The Guardians should be 68 and 77 by Pythag and by base runs and other sort of sequencing stats. Adam Burke was texting me this yesterday. They should only have won 65 games. Like, it's ridiculous this is even a sweat with the Guardians. NL Central tiebreakers, it's a 5.5 game lead for the Brewers, so I didn't know if I should put this in, but just in case they do tie, the Cubs would win the tiebreaker 7-6. They won the season series, just know that. And then the Dodgers and the Padres in the West. Dodgers now lead by 3 games because the Padres just are ridiculously infuriating. Doesn't matter that they have the easiest schedule the rest of the way in baseball. They can't seem to take care of anything. Dodgers win that season series 9-4, so they would win an NL West tiebreaker. Would the LA Dodgers? Okay. We'll get to NFL awards, and a little later, Are We Sure? And Survivor talk as well. And then Tim Murray will join us talk college football. Football on a Thursday. Numbers game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
There's no better time to join VSiN Pro. Right now, get started for just $9.99 for your first 30 days, or save 50% off with an annual subscription. As a Pro user, you'll get our newly updated NFL betting guide, as well as the college football betting guide, the ultimate playbook packed with expert picks, team previews, and best bets. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive features like real-time betting splits, daily best bets, and full access to the VSiN Watch app. Don't miss out. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network. Get your edge this season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days, or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network. A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
As the official horse racing partner of VSiN, First Bet is built for bettors who demand more. First Bet isn't just about placing a bet, it's about helping bettors of all levels with proprietary AI handicapping tools that provide data-driven insights to help you make smarter bets. First Bet's in-app tools give you win, place, and show probabilities for each runner so you can quickly and easily identify good value plays and improve your ROI. Right now, you can take advantage of their limited time $250 sign-up offer. To claim your bonus, use promo code VSiN250 when you sign up in the First Bet app or firstbet.com. That's promo code VSiN250. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Always appreciate the feedback. Y'all are the best. These are the best listeners ever because they are always funny, always insightful, always witty, and always willing to murder us, which I think is the greatest part. Shades of Mako. My turf toe testimonial. Did it playing high school football. Didn't miss any games, but I was in pain every step for 4 months, 3 months of that off season. Imagine if just a normal step consistently resulted in stubbing your toe. Kind of feels like that. Michael Burns, 1983, Gil was going as Luke Skywalker, I'm convinced. My guys in the desert need to tell Kelly how much fun basketball was a watch before the shot clock. Remember the four-corner stall? Oh, I told Kelly about this a while ago. The famous North Carolina Duke game, where I must have been like 10 or 9 years old, or I don't know how old I was, where...
We've randomly talked about this game a lot on the air.
Dean Smith goes into a stall, four-corner stall for an entire half against Duke. Duke leads at halftime 7-0.
It's great. Why wouldn't you? If you can, do it.
Who was it? Yoniker made a bad shot for North Carolina. Duke's and Dean Smith lost his mind. Buddhist. Okay, well, I'll get those. Buddhist will be last. Las Vegas 514. Yo, in 1983, not Harvey Korman. More like Return of the Jedi, Michael Jackson, Ronald Reagan mask, or the best one, a Mr. T mask with the mohawk and the fake gold. Does young Kelly know who Mr. T is?
See, I get all of those references.
Okay. And finally, Buddhist Man, and this is the best one. Buddhist Man says, coming up after the break, the NFL, after the break, 11 minutes on MLB tiebreakers. Here's the thing. Kelly and I don't know if you know this, we talk too much. Yeah. We never shut up.
Yeah. There's a thing called a rundown with a list of where we're supposed to go, but Gil and I do a good job of getting off of this order in about 5 minutes.
How I view the rundown is I just have to get to the finish line with all of it.
There you go.
That's kind of my philosophy on the run line.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of that, let's get Kelly Bidlin mad about Comeback Player of the Year award again. I just bet Jaden Daniels for MVP, but nothing gets Kelly's GOAT like the Comeback Player of the Year, and it's going to do it again this year, isn't it?
I mean, look, for us bettors, if this is going to unravel like it did last year, I'm not mad about it anymore, Gil. That was a nice cash on Joe Burrow. What I don't understand, though, is how we're about to do this again. We're about to do this again with Daniel Jones. A year and a half ago, Gil. A year and a half ago is where we're at in this point. When this note was sent to AP voters for awards, okay? The spirit of the Comeback Player of the Year award is to honor a player who has demonstrated resilience in the face of adversity by overcoming illness, physical injury, or other circumstances that led him to miss playing time the previous season. Daniel Jones does not check any of those boxes. And Daniel Jones is already into single digits. He is plus 750 in Comeback Player of the Year. Now, we wondered how this would play out last year because Sam Darnold was a whole lot of the talk of the town and was getting a whole lot of buzz. This is how the voting ended up last year. Sam Darnold got 7 first-place votes. Joe Burrow cleaned up with 31. It wasn't even close. We were all wondering how people were going to vote on it, if voters were really going to go against the rules that they were given. No, they didn't really. They stuck to the rules, and they voted Joe Burrow.
Well, 7 people went against the rules.
7 people, 92 total points. It wasn't even close. Overall, it wasn't even close. The people that understood what they were supposed to do did the right job.
7 out of 50. It's not that low of a number, if you know what I mean.
92 is not close to 370.
Yeah, but those are the points. It's 7 votes out of 50.
Yeah, and the points matter.
Yeah, well, the points do matter, but 7 went first place is what I'm saying.
Okay, but it wasn't close like everybody thought it was going to be, and everybody was holding on to Darnold tickets that thought they were really going to cash. My point here is, you know what, if books want to keep hanging this stuff, and you can actually find an alternative bet. I bet Dak before the season, plus 225, I understand is a little short right now. You can't bet Daniel Jones, though. He's plus 750, and clearly the books are reacting to bets coming in, but there's no reason why anybody should be betting it.
Yeah, it's supposed to not go to the other way to, again, interpret what that paragraph sent to voters is you're not supposed to give this to a player who comes back from sucking.
Correct. And we had to clarify this after the DeMar Hamlin stuff. I mean, this is the year it all got messed up, but we're 2 seasons later now, man. How are we still having this conversation?
Joe Burrow, your reigning Comeback Player of the Year award winner last year with 31 first-place votes. You want to go to some other award categories here? Is that what you want to do?
There was a couple others I thought were interesting.
Let's put them up on the board. Let's talk about, want to do Offensive Player of the Year? Is that one you wanted to talk about?
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I think it's kind of interesting right now.
Okay.
So we saw, off-season was all it was Genty Ward, right? We kept having that conversation. Genty Ward, I think both of us were kind of like, hey, if we had to, we'd go with the quarterback.
Yes.
Okay, Genty. Did you see what he did last week? They tried to feed him the ball, but it's kind of what you and I were talking about all summer. Is this Raiders rush offense really going to be able to be a thing?
Got in the end zone once.
Yeah, but it wasn't much last week, and he's 3-1. Now you've got a lot of other players I think coming into the mix. So it makes sense. Cam Ward's plus 475, Maureen Hampton 6-1, Mecca Buka set plus 750, Tyler Warren 9-1, Travis Hunter 10-1, Bill 14-1.
Bill,
just spotted him.
I was thinking about that. You know, I know. I would like to be referred to as Jacory from now on.
You got it, Jacory.
Yeah.
This one I just think it was interesting to look at because there was a lot of movement, which I don't think I'm shocked by.
Well, here's the thing. Falika, just to give a couple of our guests here, our regular guests, he's on Emeka Egbuka, and Egbuka had 2 touchdowns in that Tampa Bay win over Atlanta. So Egbuka is down to plus 750. Is that sustainable or not? You know, can Baker Mayfield be relied on to pull a rabbit out of the hat in these games and go to Egbuka? I don't know. And Will Hill, of course, he likes the Jackson Dart get ahead of the game thing in New York. Jackson Dart at 22-1, the theory being they can't really keep Russell Wilson in if he has another one of those performances again in week 2. Maybe they go to the kid earlier than later. So, by the way, like Isaac Tesla is on there at 70-1 after that spectacular catch he made for the Dolphins in garbage time. Okay, so there's that. Then there's Coach of the Year and Assistant Coach of the Year. Love the Assistant Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up for you.
Let's start with Coach of the Year first. Coach of the Year, where our buddy Cleve TA like Jonathan Gannon before the season started. Most noteworthy in terms of this award, Liam Cohen of the Jaguars, and famously sang Duval County in a very horrible manner before the season. 7-1, he's the short shot. Pete Carroll of the Raiders, 10-1. Ben Johnson of the Bears, 12-1. Shane Steichen, 12-1. Interesting. Jim Harbaugh, 12-1. And the aforementioned Jonathan Gannon at 12-1, along with Matt LaFleur. Everybody else longer than that.
I'm going to put it to you this way. Do you think at any point in the season you'll have a bet in this market?
It's a great point.
I ask you that because I don't know why, but this season I feel like I've been more out on this market than in years.
It feels rando. I agree. Feels quite random and feels like one of these things where the short shot will change 5 to 10 times.
Yes, yeah, I absolutely, I think you're right there. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Assistant Coach of the Year now. This is not available.
I don't know if we have it in the system, so I'll just read off the odds.
This is not available everywhere.
Robert Saleh, 7-1.
Where is this?
Where is
this? At FanDuel?
I've got it up at DraftKings now, but what did we said 24 hours ago we couldn't find it, so kind of funny how that pops up.
It was FanDuel first. We talked about it, then it came out on DraftKings yesterday, right? Yeah.
I think you literally said the words, too. Like, DraftKings doesn't have this up, and I'm like, nope.
And there it is.
And then I texted you when I got home. I was like, yeah, it's up now. Okay, so Saleh, 7-1, Flores plus 750, Vance Joseph, 8-1, Jeff Hafley, 12-1, and then we're 13-1.
Okay, this one, how can we not all be betting if Brian Flores? Some of us would have to mule that out, of course, if that were a thing, right? But, like, first of all, how much are they going to allow on that bet at DraftKings? Are they going to allow, or at FanDuel, are they going to allow some? But wouldn't Brian Flores clearly be the leader in the clubhouse?
I mean, but I don't. You could ask me that last season, this off season, and I probably would have said yes with him every time too. I don't really know. The bigger one to me is I don't understand Saleh being shorter than him.
I don't either.
Like, I love Robert Saleh. I think it's a great addition by the 49ers. I think he will make that defense better over time. But like this year, already the start, I don't know.
Well, and we got to see Brian Flores in a standalone on Monday night. Don't we get the Vikings again in primetime here as well? So,
yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Sunday night, right?
Yeah, if you want to get ahead of that. Remember, one Sunday night game this week, 2 Monday nights.
God, I love the 2 Monday night games.
I do too.
12. Then.
Is it staggered start, though?
Yes.
It is staggered start. So
wait, it's the one right after the other.
Oh, okay, so no staggered.
Sort 4 and 7 Pacific.
Oh, no, so yeah, one game
over.
Will pretty much be towards the end. Because remember, they used to do the staggered thing where it would start. I don't know if I love that. It was fine. Anyway, but after a long Sunday of games that are all at the same time, that are all concurrent,
you don't mind
kinda
the broken up.
You don't mind it being broken up. So for me, the bet there in all those is Brian Flores at plus 750 in that market. The problem is that market is not as vastly available, and I don't know how much they'll let you put on that market. But if you can find it and you can put down a nice little bet, I think that's the play. Plus 750. Come on.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I think like regular coach of the year, how much could that change throughout the season? It could. I'm with you, though. If I had to make one bet today, it would be him.
I actually think because of name recognition, assistant coach of the year will change less than actual coach of the year.
I think that makes sense.
Tim Murray, college football on the other side. We will get to Survivor talk as well. Are we sure? And crack. It's a numbers game at VSiN.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Join the guru, John Hansen, at the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports on Prop Points, only on VSiN.
And shout out to Elijah Moore as well. Oftentimes he's Elijah less. Keep in mind, Sean Payton is evil for fantasy football.
John and his guests will help you find the connection between the two and give you his expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points, weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Thursday night football tonight between the Packers and the Commanders calls for sharper odds. Sharper odds, and Bracco delivers. NFL spreads every Thursday are minus 103, minus 103, beating the industry standard and giving you better long-term ROI. On top of that, cash in on a 50% welcome bonus, monthly rewards, and Sunday free bet promos with promo code VSiN at Bracco. Reduced juice and rich rewards combine to give you the edge. Check them out at playbracco.com today. Our next guest is a D.C. native, DMV, from the DMV as the kids call it now, District, Maryland, and Virginia. We were just having a cherry blossom neighborhood discussion off air because he's wearing an old Washington Nationals cherry blossom cap. He joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. He is the host of not only VSiN Primetime, but also the College Football Tailgate Show here at the network and the College Football Betting Podcast. It's Tim Murray, everybody. How you doing, Tim?
What's up, gentlemen? Yes, always good to talk a little cherry blossoms, even though it's a spring thing. It's not a fall thing.
That's correct.
I love cherry blossoms.
Kelly was just asking me.
How long are they in bloom? Is that what we would call
Very short.
Very short, and it depends.
Very brief. Well, because
it depends if it rains.
That's the tricky thing, Kelly. People like to go down to D.C., and Gil can attest to this, right? The Cherry Blossom Festival right there on the Tidal Basin. It's beautiful. However, if they get in bloom and then it gets windy and rainy, then they all just kind of fall to the ground. So it's really hit or miss. But
y'all got soft trees. That's what I'm hearing.
No, some years he's right. Some years it lasts a day because of that. It sucks.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's awful. Anyway,
they were beautiful.
That's your cherry blossom update from Tim Murray and crew here. Tim, how's the college football season going so far?
It's going all right. Yeah. I mean, look, I wish we were undefeated. 4-3 on the podcast last week, 4-1 going into the late night slate. So that's always good to stay up late and watch a couple L's come across. But, overall, look, we'll see what Alabama turns into. That was a team I was very high on preseason. Obviously, that was a bit of a shock to the system to see that performance in week one. But, you look at a couple of the other win totals that I was in on. I feel good about Syracuse going under. That team has been obviously very underwhelming. That was one of my bigger positions. So, and my guy Devin Dampier moving up the rankings if we can pull that one off. But yeah, it's been okay. I'm not going to sit here and say it's been amazing so far, but we're battling through. We're fighting the good fight here, Gil, and hopefully we could have another winning week on the podcast when we record later today.
Oh, later today. Okay, good. Keep that in mind, everybody. With a college football betting podcast each and every Thursday is when that comes out. Let's talk about a handful of games here. Clemson at Georgia Tech. Clemson at halftime this past week, Troy had the best of them, and you started saying, wow, from the previous week, is LSU even good if this is what Troy is doing to Clemson? And then Clemson, of course, righted the ship. Clay Klubnik doing his thing in the second half. Clemson, a 3-point favorite at Georgia Tech. What do you think here?
Yeah, so I did a segment with your good friend, the Bear, Chris Felica, earlier this week on the pod, the College Football Betting Pod. Overreaction or market correction? And that's what I think the theme of this week should be, because we've got a couple of these lines that have moved drastically, and this is one of them, right? You're looking at a flat 3. I think there's a national shop that has a juice 2.5 right now. I mean, this is pretty wild when you think about on Friday, Gil, this number was 7.5. And if you look back to August 20th, this number was 8.5. Game of the year line at the Westgate Superbook, 9. So this has been a massive mover. And you wonder, all right, is this an overreaction, or is this something that Clemson, is there some serious issues here with Clemson? I don't have a bet on this game. I'm really tempted to lay the 3 here with Clemson just because this movement is pretty wild to me. Now, let's point out a couple of things for this game. Antonio Williams, the best wide receiver for Clemson, is probably trending towards out. He did not play last week against Troy. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. Haynes King, also worth noting here, Georgia Tech's kind of bulldozer quarterback who did everything in that game. And I know bettors are not happy with him scoring that late touchdown against Colorado. He was out last week against Gardner-Webb. Now, I fully anticipate Haynes King to play this on Saturday afternoon. But yeah, this is a really intriguing one. Brent Key, how about this? As a underdog, or just against ranked teams, they've been an underdog in all 11 of the games that he's coached. They're 8-3 against the spread. And one of those games they didn't have Haynes King in it. So I'm going back and forth, Gil, because if this was 7.5 like last week, I'd love Georgia Tech in this spot. But down to 3, it is a massive move here. And you wonder, is this that get right spot for Clemson? So as of right now, probably going to be on the sideline, but certainly tempted by taking a reduced number here on the Tigers.
All right, I'm pretty fascinated by South Florida, obviously crushing Boise State and then beating Florida last week. Let's talk about both teams in that South Florida game last week. Florida, first of all, coming off that loss as big favorites. They're going to take on LSU. And then South Florida's taking on Miami. What about both of those two games?
I'll start with the latter, the game at Hard Rock Stadium. I went down to Hard Rock Stadium 2 weeks ago, watched Notre Dame, Miami, and boy, I came away certainly more impressed by Miami than discouraged with Notre Dame. Now that could change as we see Notre Dame just lace it up for the second time of the season on Saturday night. But I really like this Miami team, and I do wonder if the clock is maybe going to strike midnight here on South Florida. Now, before you get mad at me and tell me, oh, you're a hater, look, South Florida right now is in a primo spot, Gil, to earn the G5 bid with a win over Florida, with a win over Boise State. You wonder, with their quarterback, Byron Brown, I mean, this guy takes a lot of hits, and he missed 3/4 of the season a year ago. I think he missed 8 games a year ago due to injury. He's already had 30 carries. And, when I look at this Miami defense, boy, Ruben Bain coming off the edge there, he's an absolute beast. I wonder if this is a situation where does the gas tank maybe hit empty here for South Florida? So the number was 18 last week, reopened at around 15, 16. I laid 16. Now we're up at 17.5. I still think I would split my unit even at the current price, go maybe a little first half, a little full game. I think this is a spot where Miami maybe flexes their muscles a little bit against South Florida, especially since they beat Florida the week prior. Their level of interest and their level of motivation probably has been elevated. The only worry I would say, Gil, for me, with this particular number being as high as it is, Miami does play Florida next week, and there could be maybe a backdoor opportunity for South Florida. So at 17.5, I get a little bit of skittish here, but I still like Miami and still will lay it with them. As for Florida, another situation where you see them as, a 17.5, 18-point favorite, lose to South Florida, and now you go on the road to LSU. LSU, a very sleepy spot last week, beat Louisiana Tech in a clear letdown opportunity coming off of their win in week 1 against Clemson. So the atmosphere is going to be geared up here. Another little bit of move, right? Look ahead line was 7. This thing got as high as 9.5 earlier this week. We've seen the buyback here on Florida. And I think this maybe is a buy low spot for Florida. I'm still a believer in DJ Lagway as a very talented quarterback. I don't believe in their coach in Sunbelt Billy. I think Billy Napier, certainly the seat is very hot down there, 20-20 through his first 40 games in Gainesville. But I'm going to take the points here with Florida in a desperation spot of sorts for Florida. Now, once again, this is a spot for LSU, Gil, where a little bit of revenge on the mind. A year ago, LSU went to Gainesville and got knocked off by Florida. So there is that aspect, but I think Florida, I would expect them to keep this thing competitive. So if you're going to give me the hook, I'm going to roll with the Gators here on Saturday night.
Since you bring up your Irish earlier, what about your 0-1 Notre Dame Fighting Irish?
Yeah.
Haven't played since August, by the way, against 2-0 Texas A&M. What about this one?
Yeah, desperate. Is it too early to say desperate spot? This is a big spot for the Irish here as they take on Texas A&M. You lose this game, look at the rest of the schedule. I mean, there's not a lot of opportunities to build the resume to get to the playoff if you lose this game on Saturday night. So I think for me, guys, the way I'm looking at this one, and I hate playing overs, I think I'm going to look at the over here. Last year, this number was, I think, 47 at close down in College Station, and it was a dead under game. Now, the difference is Texas A&M had 3 first and second round picks on the defensive line a year ago. And when you look at what Texas A&M did in the portal, they added a couple of big-time receivers, one from Mississippi State, one from NC State. Marcel Reed didn't play last year against Notre Dame. He's the starter now. And then I think Notre Dame, there's going to be an emphasis, guys, on running the football. They Didn't really embrace that against Miami, much to the chagrin of many Notre Dame fans out there. And Texas A&M, albeit early, has looked a bit susceptible on the ground, allowing a bunch of rushing yards to UTSA and Utah State. I think this is a thrilling game on Saturday night. I think it's back and forth. And I'm going to take a little over in Notre Dame, Texas A&M. I think this could be I don't want to say shootout, but I think it could be in that 28-24 type of range come Saturday night in South Bend.
Over 49.5 from Tim. Real quick, one-word answer, just because I'm curious. 2 undefeateds in the SEC, Georgia and Tennessee. Georgia favored by 3.5. You're going with?
Georgia.
There you go. Tim Murray, everybody.